All right, hey folks, this is Paul Bird again, and welcome to the spring barbecue season in the backyard of the Texas Bluesman. And I'm here today in my refurbished pergola with my new toolbox and my new table that I've got, and I'm really happy about it. If you want to hear more about where I got it from and what it is, then let me know down in the comment section, and happy to share it with you. But anyway, so today for my first video of the season, I'm going to use the plancha to make some hamburger steaks. So I'm not going to make the steak, you know how to make a beef patty and all the other kind of stuff, but I'm going to go into more detail on the plancha, what it is and how it works and everything else. I asked Chris a few questions about it so that I could square it away myself, but I've never used it yet, so we're going to do this together. So here we go. Okay, so here we are. Now, to use the plancha, you have to take out the grates, and you use this cool little frame here. It's got a little handle on it and all the other kind of stuff. And with this frame, you can use the plancha, you can use the grill grates that you can purchase from Chris as well to go into this rack and use those on the bottom shelf of your smoker. So here's the plancha. It goes right in there like that and rests on the front and the back. And we're going to use the pellet in manual mode to get some good heat on this thing. We're going to want it to be about 350 degrees by the time we start cooking on it. So I've got my handy little ThermoWorks infrared thermometer that I reviewed for you on here. We're going to use that to check that out, see what it is. I'm going to be seasoning it with avocado oil. You know, I'll like natural oils and whatnot. So anyway, I've done just a little bit of cleaning on this thing because it's been underneath my lonestargrillz ever since I bought it, sitting there. So anyway, here we go. Let's put it in and crank her up. You'll notice that I have the shield open because I want the most amount of heat that I can get on here. I'm gonna slide this all the way to the right so I get the most surface area directly over the fire. And we're gonna crank this up and let this thing burn for about 20 minutes. Try to burn a little bit of this rust off and everything. And I've got a pumice stone that I'm gonna use on it and get some avocado oil in there, and then we'll make it happen. All right, folks, here we go. I've had this plancha running in the smoker on manual mode about 50–60% for about 20–25 minutes, and you'll notice if you watch Chris's video that mine isn't clean and new anymore. So I need to clean this thing up and season it. It's important that when you're taking a piece of rusty steel that you take it and season it. We'll clean it well first and then season it well so that you can cook on it. And just like you would a Blackstone, any other flat top or anything else like that, you just treat the steel like a carbon steel or a cast iron or anything else like that. So I've got some avocado oil, you know, that I like natural oils better. So I'm gonna spray a little bit on here. And I really actually got the Blackstone clean kit, you know, that I got. So it came with this handy dandy handle and a few sponges and a pumice stone and everything else. So I'm just gonna run this around and spread this around and get this oil all over the cooking surface side of this thing. Probably gonna need some more oil than I got. This thing's really hot. Everything's hot around here. So anyway, you can see the rust starting to kind of come off of here. So as I let that oil in there, I want to put a little extra down here. And I want to take this pumice stone and I'm going to run it around here. That oil, that rust is coming right off with that oil. thing's gonna look brand new for too long, so I'm probably gonna fast forward the video at this point so that you don't have to sit there and watch me scrub on this for a long time. All right, well, now it's time to season, and I'm gonna season by putting a little oil on, waiting for it to cook in for a little while, and then putting a little more oil in, spreading it around, and just like you would a Blackstone griddle or any other piece of cast iron or whatever. So there's a little bit of avocado oil, and I'm gonna use the same rag over and again to make sure that I'm not soaking it up and throwing it away. By the way, this is really hot. If you're doing this, it would be smarter to have some insulation gloves on. But right now, of course, I pulled it out a little bit and was cleaning on it. On the right-hand side over here, we're sitting at 285 degrees, and on the left-hand side, it's 240, 237. You see that? And yeah, you can see that it's 278. 280, 298, right above the fire. There's my handy dandy bag of tricks over here, and grab me a pair of tongs to do this with. Starting to look good, starting to turn a little black right over the fire in this area here. Pit's running at 300 degrees. Plancha's sitting at 342, right over 344, right over the fire, and 271 near the drain, 265. And I'm running the manual on 75%. I think 350 degrees is a good temperature. All right, so we put a few coats of oil on the plancha. It's should be good and seasoned by now. I got my thermometer. We're looking about just over 400, 403 on the right, and 275 on the left. So that 3/8 inch steel plate really carries the heat from right to left, even though the fire is just underneath the right side. So you kind of have a hot side and a cool side. So, you know, think about that when you're cooking. And so I've got a nice black sheen coming on here. The oils are cooking into the steel. So with that, I'm gonna go get some hamburger, and we're gonna make some hamburger steaks. All right, so now here I've got some hamburger steaks that I made from some of my parents' meat out at Four Forks Farm, and here goes nothing. Now listen to that sizzle. Seasoned with some Meat Church Holy Cow. These are going to be good. Got my nice burger press that I got from Mill Scale Ironworks down in Austin, and I'm going to put a little Earl on it and press these things. Looking good, looking good. Just check 288, 217. And I cut the auger down to 50%. Chris had his 40% when he made smash burgers. He didn't check temperature, but so I'm not sure what it was. I imagine that the temperature could fluctuate a little bit, you know, depending on what kind of pellets you use. If you use dry pellets or pellets that's been sitting in the hopper because you didn't clean them out before the last time, or whatever the situation may be. But the pellets are pouring. the flame is going, and putting the cold meat on actually pulled down the temperature of the plancha just a little bit, but it's still about 300 degrees on the right-hand side, and I'm happy with that. It's not smoking temperatures. Being that the temperature is that low, I'm actually gonna close the lid and since these are not smash burgers, which are super thin and will cook very quickly, these are hamburger steaks, so these are about, you know, a good, at least a good inch thick. So I'm gonna close the lid to build up some heat within the firebox, and I mean, not the firebox, but in the pit, and let them get a little bit of inside temperature. Since these aren't necessarily smash burgers, one of the other things that I'm looking for is, you know, I'm not looking to get that crust on the outside or anything necessarily. That's kind of nice to have, but I just want to make sure that they're cooked all the way through. And whip out my trusty old Thermapen here. Yeah, we're looking at 135 on these ones that I just moved over. And we're looking at about 155 on the two that I moved out from directly over, 146, 155. So, being that it's hamburger meat, I want it at least around 145, 150, just to be a nice medium hamburger. And if some of them get hot, I can always move them to the cool side of the plancha. That's what's great about having, you know, the hot side and the cool side. I just turned it back up to the auger up to about 60% because of the temperature of the hot side over here. It's come down to about 250. I really want to keep it up around 300 degrees. So we'll just crank some more pellets in there and see if we can get it back up. Fred, there's nothing for you. Folks, just let me tell you what a beast this thing is. I mean, it smokes perfectly, keeps a good solid temperature. I've got I know, long awaited, the controller video is going to come out, and you're going to see some cooks that I've done where the variance is within 5 degrees on period. 2.5 degrees on either side of the line, all the way for 10 hours. The fireboard controller is amazing. The pit holds heat like you wouldn't believe, and just performs above and beyond anything that you can imagine. And now here I am with a huge griddle plate inside the thing and cooking some hamburger steaks, and they're going to be great. I know it. And just an amazing piece of machinery. All right, it's time to pull these things off. The last two are up at around 150 degrees internal temperature. So we're going to go eat them, and then I'm going to come back out here after the thing cools down just a little bit, clean it up, wipe a little quart of oil on it, and then try to figure out where in the world I'm going to store it where I can keep it from rusting again. All right, well, hey friends, here I am for the wrap up. Hamburger steaks were great. You don't have to go all the way to 150 in the hamburger steak, you know, if you like them a little bit more on the medium rare side. But they had a nice pink center. The ones that were 150, 147 had a nice pink center, and they worked well. I think that ultimately the right manual setting for the controller would have been about 60% to keep enough pellets going to keep the hot part of the griddle about 300 degrees, which is where I kind of wanted it. It sprung up to 400 degrees before I got started, and then when I put the cold meat on, it dropped the temperature of the whole plancha. So I think about 60% is where I'm going to run in the future. But, you know, once again, manual auger speed that I set. And this was the first time that I used it. So like literally you got to see me pull it out from underneath the smoker, clean it up, and, you know, season it and use it. all in one fell swoop. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And I have to say again, people have asked me, I do not get sponsored in any way, shape, or form by Lone Star Grills. I just really love the thing. And anyway, hope y'all have a blessed day or evening, whichever one it is that you're watching this video. We'll see you next time.